Hello there, it's L Trades, and today I'll do a market update for you because I think that everything is going along to plan, and it's very important that we know what's going to happen from here. So let's dive right in. Last time you may have remembered it was a while ago. I did a market update where I said, BTC is or has respected this beautiful weekly support from the 2017-2018 high, and after bouncing it, we just wanted it to break the 200-week moving average, which is that light blue line. And as we were consolidating there, I said this is good and strong, especially on Twitter. And recently we have broken out, and now we can see that we are launching off. Now, regardless of all the macro heads out there and everything that's happening with the macro, and we all know that it might be bad, regardless of all that, we try to block out the noise and we try to realize that this whole time from 50k until the bottom of 17.5, that was a forced selling event, especially from 28 to 17. From 50 to 30 to 28 was usual. It was normal for a Bitcoin bear market, but we know that under that was forced liquidations, which were an outlier. And that's why I've been saying for a very long time that this area was very high value area to load up on either low leverage or spot, and that at least, at the very least, Bitcoin should be worth around 28 to 30k. Now that we successfully respected the 200-week moving average, you can see that we made this beautiful higher low on it, right? Just beautiful straight up. And we broke, or at least trying to break, this local resistance, which we probably will. And then we could start targeting high supply areas, kind of like the 28k area, which is also a CME gap, a futures gap. And then something like the 200-day moving average, which we're a bit above that, is also another CME gap. So this is very nice. And even if BTC does happen to drop back to 22, 23, it has so much support between there and 17 again. So even if something bad happens, maybe the SPX retraces, which is fine, and BTC does happen to drop back to the 20s and maybe the 18, I think it's very unlikely that it makes a new low before it hits at least a 200-day moving average or near it. So this is all perfect and it's going to plan. If we want to look at what might cause a big move in BTC, it's obviously the SPX. Don't worry about these lines. SPX has had a major shift. This could still be, as many people call it, a bear market rally, though I doubt it at this point, and this may just continue to all-time high because it's such a big shift in momentum. It's very important to notice that there's huge positive momentum, and if we do, however, we are about to face the 200-day moving average, we can round there, and then we would have hidden bearish divergence, and that could cause a massive lag down, but we're not there yet, so there's no reason to speculate. Let's finish off with the BTC SPX ratio. And the reason we want to do this is because a lot of people are worried. Don't worry about that. A lot of people are worried that the SPX has pumped a lot and BTC hasn't. And this is a valid worry because if the SPX retraces, which it should, then BTC will probably drop a lot more. So that is a pretty bad thing. However, it's very important to notice that sometimes BTC lags to the SPX. And if we look at the BTC SPX pair, you can see the weekly bullish divergence, which is about to go bullish momentum. This shows you that BTC is actually bullish to the SPX. And we can also see that it's above the 200 week and it's also rounding. So if the SPX performs well, BTC is likely to keep performing even better. So if BTC does start getting to our targets of the 30Ks, then we can start talking about whether that would be it for this bear market, and then maybe we turn around and drop off. Or if there's signs, we might continue upwards to 40 and maybe even continue the bull market. But anyone who tells you that they can predict that now is lying. We can only tell when the data presents itself. I'll do a quick thing about Ethereum. Ethereum's obviously been exploding, right? They have the successful ETH merge. You can see it's been following this fractal. This fractal is from 2016. Again, don't worry about the speculation of it. Right now, the RSI is overbought and it's making bearish divergence on the MACD, so be careful. We know that FBTC is running insanely strong. I do want to put in a note right now, and I've been shouting on Twitter for a long time. I think that Doge is very likely to just have a very strong week or day very, very soon. I think you could target the 200-day. Obviously, it's stupid to enter leverage here and assume that it's just going to go straight up there. It could definitely drop again. I don't think it's going to make a new low, but my point is, and I've said this on Twitter around June or July, there's a huge edge in buying Doge around this area spot or low leverage and waiting for a 50 to 100% pump, just based on the historics of it and the TA. Anyways, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. There is something very important.